Crystal Palace won the Community Shield for the first time on Sunday, defeating Premier League champions Liverpool 3-2 in a penalty shootout after the match ended 2-2 in regular time. The highly anticipated match at Wembley Stadium, which witnessed 3 goals inside the opening 25 minutes, saw Liverpool dominate early on, with Hugo Ekitike scoring the opening goal in the 4th minute. However, Crystal Palace equalized when Jean-Philippe Mateta converted a penalty in the 17th minute after Ismaïla Sarr was fouled in the box. The Reds regained the lead with a stunning strike from new addition Jeremie Frimpong in the 21st minute. But Palace fought back to level the score again with Sarr's goal in the 77th minute, with both teams unable to find a winner in 90 minutes. The match went straight to penalties. Crystal Palace goalkeeper Dean Henderson was the hero, saving penalties from Alexis, Allister, and Mohamed Salah, while Eberechi's had his penalties saved as well. However, Palace's composure from the spot ultimately led to their victory. The Community Shield match is the Premier League curtain raiser between the Premier League champion and the FA Cup winner. The 2025-2026 Premier League season starts on Friday, August 15th, with a match between Liverpool FC and AFC Bournemouth. Liverpool are back. But Arne Slot and his troops had to walk past a piece of gleaming silverware this time, as the Community Shield served up an intriguing afternoon, had little to do for the majority, and brushed through the basics as expertly as usual, pulled off a solid, crucial stop to deny Eberechi's on the hour mark. After Dominic Szoboszlai squandered possession to trigger a counter, can't be placed much at fault for the goals, and very unfortunate in the shootout. Fast, frenetic feet, and a feverish pace up and down the flank. My hamstrings ache just watching this lad hit his stride, and it's going to be a reoccurring theme this season. Big energy was brought by Arne Slot's latest Dutch recruit, and it was evident how quickly the new No-30 has been instructed to leap upon loose balls, even if it risks a turnover and opposition counter. Let's all agree he meant his goal. A klaxoozing chip of Lionel Messi proportions, Ibrahima Kone 2-7 returned to competitive duty as something of a hatchet man, knocking off a tactical foul on a rapidly counter-attacking ES early doors and collecting a predictable yellow card on the cusp of halftime thereafter. Looked assured and measured, but needs the momentum which the coming season will provide. Virgil van Dijk, AJK5, went about the first half with his customary quiet and imposing marshalling, but left plenty of questions to be answered in the second 45 offering. Stepping up of the back-line decisions, one of which was immediately punished as Sarr hit the back of the net. Milos Kerkez, 6, remained mostly solid, but looked, understandably, a measure short of confidence and at times porous. His lack of understanding yet to be struck with the captain became clearly apparent as Ismaïla Sarr burst through to bag the 2-2 equaliser just before the 80th minute mark. Quickly made amends with a last-gasp block to save the skin of the Reds. Will settle into this team in no time. But looked a hair uneasy here. Curtis Jones, 7, played deep and looked robust. Taking on the Gravenberch role is never easy, but Jones brought energy and dynamism and benefited from the additional energetic legs around him, carried well from deep, and kept his passes short and sharp, while offering a constant outlet for the men out wide. Not the most glamorous of roles, but one this rather underrated footballer can carry out when called upon. Dominic Szoboszlai 7, it comes as little shock to see Liverpool's magnificent Magyar return from pre-season just as fit as ever before. Plenty of lung-busting runs from Szoboszlai at Wembley, but the No-8 did seem to get a little lost amid the noise as stages ended. The match pushed much further forward after the introduction of Alexis Allister, showcasing his versatility, but also somewhat thwarting his momentum. Florian Wirtz, 9 men of the match, this lad got everywhere, and every time he picks up the ball, the opposition are terrified. Took little to no time to get himself settled into this one, before using space expertly on and off the ball. Little Gavando here, a fizzing daisy cutter of a pass there. The repertoire feels both effortless and endless. Helped free up Hugo Ekitike in the channels, and put on the assist for the fellow new boy to get the Reds off the mark in the capital. We could be about to witness a generational season from this. German maestro. Mohamed Salah, 2-7, ran hard and threaded some sumptuous passes beyond the lines, perhaps dispossessed more often than he'd like, or that we're used to seeing. But this is early days, a good sharpener for Salah, who will feel rejuvenated with this new pool of flowing talent around him. His burgeoning link-up with Wirtz could become something truly special. Missed a few chances, which would usually be his bread and butter, and looked frustrated with himself. The hunger is still very much there, but so is a newfound ability to blaze penalties over the crossbar. Cody Gakpo to 6 cut in time and time again from the flank in trademark fashion. In that instantly recognizable Arjen Robben-esque manner, looked direct and focused in possession, but found himself sucked into quiet spells intermittently, which has to be avoided. Early days, and still basically pre-season, but needs to hit the ground running as soon as the Premier League anthem starts ringing out again. Hugo Ekitike, 9-4 minutes, just 4 touches, 1 maiden Liverpool goal. A remarkable first impression for an imposing striker who looks like he can also be a blistering winger and a playmaker. A proper modern-day Liverpool recruit. It takes seconds to see why the Data Boffins were desperate to have this athlete on board. That deft, gorgeously caressed touch to bring the ball down and slot it through the back line in the first half. If you missed it, find it on YouTube and watch it on repeat for the rest of the evening. I'm not getting carried away in saying this lad could be Thierry Henry reincarnate, but also, that's exactly what I am saying. A stellar competitive debut. Alexis Allister on for Jones, 71-6, still getting back into the swing of things. But his mere presence alters the dynamic. Neutralizes space better than anyone. Wata Endo on 4 Ekitike, 71-6, old reliable. Comes on, carries out his remit. Plenty of tackles, plenty of refined power. Harvey Elliott on forwards 84-7 tried hard to impose himself, tracking from one side of the midfield to the other, scanning, passing, looking for the flint with which to re-spark the flames. Will be his last outing in a Liverpool shirt, and will be sorely missed if so. Always gave his everything for the Reds. Let's not talk about his spot kick. Andy Robertson on for Kirches, 84-6, didn't have much time to get into the swing of things, but remained compact. Utilized his new-look squad well, and the promising signs are very much there. A few tweaks needed, but Slot looks like a man very much excited by the new weaponry at his disposal. Liverpool were cohesive and creative, with many a daring endeavor attempted, a solid run-out with a mask of unavoidable rust. This serves as a useful and much-needed tonic to stir the senses regarding the work that needs to be done in defense. It's clear to see this team can and will do something special this season. Penalties generally were awful, but on we go. If this is the only silverware the Reds miss out on this season, happy days. Some fans inside Wembley shouted during the minute's silence held in memory of Diogo Jota before the Community Shield. It marked Liverpool's first competitive fixture since the death of the Portuguese forward, who was killed alongside his brother Andre in a car accident last month. It came just days after Jota had married his long-term partner, Ruth Cardoso. Before the start of Sunday's game against Crystal Palace, there was supposed to be a minute's silence in memory of Jota and his brother. However, it was cut short after just 10 seconds, with a number of fans heard shouting from the stands. The interruption was met with loud boos from the Liverpool supporters in attendance at Wembley. The vast majority of the crowd respected the silence and began to applaud when the referee blew his whistle to signal the end of the silence. TNT Sports commentator Darren Fletcher was left disgusted by the noise, saying, "Why on earth there are a certain few inside the stadium? Who would spoil that moment is absolutely beyond me." Liverpool honored Jota in their own way by making a touching addition to their kits for the Community Shield. The phrase, "Forever 20," a nod to the forward's squad number, was etched on the inside of their playing shirts and stadium jackets. Ahead of the match, Reds manager Arne Slot praised the strength and fortitude of his players in dealing with Jota's tragic death. He told the FA website, "This summer has been difficult for everybody connected with the club. The passing of Diogo Jota had a big impact on all of us and is something that we are still coming to terms with. We cannot imagine the pain that Diogo's family, his wife, children, and friends are going through, and the club will continue to give them all the support going forward. Diogo's passing has hawked on us all. But what has been so important has been the love and care shown from the football world, and in particular, of course, the Liverpool FC community. I also want to mention the strength and the courage of my players here. They have found themselves in one of the toughest positions. In the way they have come together and the way they have conducted them.